Hey, hey, hey. Oh my goodness. It is your girl, Natasha Paris, the empowerment strategist, your resident therapist. And I am so excited to come before you for yet another season 3. Well, in this season, we are bringing more and more of what you like. We had an amazing season 2 with an average of about 50 to 60 downloads a week. And I am super excited because I am predicting that we are going to have close to about 100 and 150 downloads a week and moving in to 2 to 3, 4, almost 1,000 downloads a week. I am claiming it. I am claiming it because I have something to share. So within this season 3, I'm super excited because we are going to be offering we're going to be bringing back the affirmations series where you are able to speak life into the things that you want for your life and you're able to breathe deeply. So we're bringing back the affirmation series. In addition to that, we're going to bring back those topics that really support your growth. We're going to give you solutions to possible concerns that you may have. Look, I am not here to change the world, but I am here to really change the world. Okay, come on now. And so with that said, we are excited and we're going to also be bringing some interviews. We are bringing some interviews to this platform, talking to people who you might want to know about, right? Yes, and who have something to also say. And as we have said before, I want you to do 3 things. I want you to hit that 5-star button on your favorite platform. In addition to that, I want you to share. And of course, I want you to comment. I want to hear from you. Season 3 is going to be amazing. So I want to hear from you. And so with that said, my friends, let's get right into it. Welcome to season 3. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness. It's always a pleasure to come and speak directly to you. I hope you are doing fantastic. It is your girl, Natasha Paris, the empowerment strategist, as well as your resident therapist. Okay, let's jump right into this episode 203. Season 3. Oh my goodness. I can't believe we are at our 203rd episode. I thank you so very much for just continuing to support. And also, I'm glad that you are being impacted by the things and the phrases as well as the information. Because one thing I know for sure is that I am not doing it for me. I am doing it for you. And so with that said, let's get into it. And so our episode for today is From Stuck to Unstoppable, breaking the cycle of inconsistency, my friends, breaking the cycle of inconsistency. Okay, well, how many times? Let's talk about it. How many times have you told yourself, this is my week, this is my month, this is my year. Oh my goodness, 2026 is going to be the year of change. I'm going to do this. I'm going to lose this. And we say to ourselves, I'm finally going to stay consistent. Well, only to find yourself right back in that same cycle, starting, stopping, restarting, feeling motivated. And of course, yes, then losing it just as fast. How many of us have done that? We have dreams, we have aspirations, we have things that we want to do, but we find ourselves being in that space of being stuck, right? Not moving. Well, today, my friends, we're not just going to talk about motivation. We're going to talk about transformation. Because the truth of the matter is that consistency isn't about how you feel. It's about who you decide to become. It's a decision. It is a true decision on who you decide to become and what you decide to receive. And you know what I say, the 3 C's, I say it often, is that you should have levels of courage to go after those goals and dreams. And then, of course, you want to be committed to doing it. But today we're going to talk about the consistency of continuing to do it on a day-to-day basis. So let's jump right into this. What is the real reason you feel stuck? Let's be honest. Stagnation isn't laziness. It's not that you're lazy. It happens to the best of us. It's usually one of these 3 things, okay? You either feel overwhelmed, you're unclear on what it is that you want to do or how to do it, or you're just emotionally drained. You have so much on your plate. You have a goal. You want to get it done. But by the time you come home from work, deal with the children, deal with the hubby, you're exhausted. And you just want to just sit back and watch your Atlanta Housewives. I'm just saying, right? Something that it's mindless, right? But when your mind is cluttered, my friends, your actions become inconsistent. When you are preoccupied with so many other things, you tend to be inconsistent. You're going to go with how you feel. Now, not stuck because you can't move. You're not stuck because you can't move. You're stuck because your mind is not set up to move. One thing I want you to know as we begin and talk about how to get unstuck, I want you to stop blaming yourself. I want you to give yourself grace. Yes, you started and then you stopped. Yes, you started and then you stopped. And then you restarted. I don't want you to blame yourself. I want you to really start examining your thoughts and behaviors. Because if you begin to examine who you are, how you feel, and what you think about, then maybe we can get somewhere, okay? All right, so let's talk about motivation. Motivation is truly a liar. Because if you are waiting to see how you feel, today I feel motivated, so I'm going to go ahead and do it, then you are setting yourself up for failure. If you only move when you feel like it, you'll always be inconsistent. Because, my friends, consistent people don't feel like it all the time. They just train themselves to move anyway, despite how they feel. And I can really attest to that. There are times when I don't want to, talk to you guys. Not that I don't want to. It's just I love talking to you, but I am busy. And so I say to myself, I have to talk to myself and I have to say, your listeners are waiting for a new episode. Just do it. Just do it. And when I do, let me tell you, we have lives being impacted and moved. And so I'm excited about that. So that is what keeps me going, knowing that there's someone waiting for the new episode. And so I want you to always remember that consistent people don't always feel like it, right? So based on that, I want you to ask yourself, do I negotiate with my goals or do I honor them? Okay, my friends, let's talk about the things that people do often. What do they do often when it comes to honoring their goals and their dreams? But don't do it. What are the things that they do? Well, I'm going to say this. Try to do too much too fast. What do I mean? You know that there are things you have to do and you try to do a whole lot in a short period of time. That's why you burn out. Consistency isn't built on big leaps. It's built on small, repeatable actions. You're trying to lose 20 pounds in less than a month. You're trying to study and cram in all that information in less than a day so you can pass an exam. I mean, these are the things that are destroyable. Those are the things that create levels of frustration, and it makes you get to a place where you say, I'm not doing this. Instead of saying, I'm going to work out 5 days a week when you've never worked out, right? Because you're creating an opportunity for you to give up. So instead of saying, I'm going to work out 5 days a week, say, I will move my body for 10 minutes daily, no excuses. That's attainable. That's reachable. And it's not overly exhausting. I know in my personal life, I have to pace myself. I understand the importance of repeated efforts, right? There's that saying, how do you eat a hippopotamus, right? That's that saying. Well, of course, if you look at the hippopotamus, you're going to say, oh my goodness, that's a lot to eat, which we are metaphorically speaking, right? Of course, you're not going to eat a hippopotamus, but for the sake of an example, you're not going to feel less stress because you're looking at the hippopotamus and you're wondering how you're going to eat it. You're going to feel an enormous amount of anxiety. But the saying goes, how you eat a hippopotamus is one bite at a time, my friends, because momentum doesn't come from intensity, constantly eating it till you throw up. No, it comes from repetition. It comes from consistently doing that activity, that exercise repeatedly, and making a decision that you're going to do it at least 10 minutes a day, working out 10 minutes a day, focusing on your business an hour a day, growing your business. It is those small steps that creates larger successes. All right, another thing that people do, let's talk about the pattern of start strong, life happens, you fall off, you feel guilty, and you quit. I'm going to say that again. What's the pattern that people often take on? You start strong. You're like, okay, I'm going to do the entrepreneurial business. I'm going to do what I need to do. But then life happens. The children are sick. You are called to do more projects at work, so you can't focus on your side gig or your entrepreneurial journey. And then you fall off. And then, of course, you feel guilty. And you feel so bad that you say, you know what? I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm not built for this. And guess what? I'm done. So that is often the pattern. But what I am coming here to tell you, my friends, is that you don't have to be perfect. You just don't stop. You just don't stop. You just keep doing it. Miss a day, get back on track the next day. Slip up, adjust, don't abandon. See, that's the key. It's not abandoning the job or your decision or your commitment or your dreams. It's okay if you miss a day. You get back on track. Consistency is not perfection. This is what I'm going to consistently talk about today. Is your ability to return quickly. When you fall, you don't cry about it. You get back up. You know, when you are walking on a sidewalk, because it's happened to me a couple of times, you're walking down the street on a sidewalk and you trip over an elevated piece of the sidewalk. And if you trip, if you happen to fall down, you quickly get back up really fast. If you trip, you act like nothing happened, right? Did someone see me? Did they not? No, because in your mind, you're like, the faster you get up, no one saw you. No one would have had the opportunity to see you. It's the same thing with your goals. It's the same thing with your desires. It's about how you return quickly. All right, so let's talk about what are the things that you can do today, my friends? What can you do today? Okay. All right. So when we talk about consistency, it's important for you to create non-negotiables. When I say non-negotiables, things that you will not negotiate on. Simple. Okay. Example, move your body at least 10 minutes. Drink water. Work out for about 15 minutes. Like, these are some examples, right? Things that you will not negotiate about. And I don't want you to overthink it. When you're deciding that you're going to go after something, create non-negotiables. What would that be? That you're going to do it every day, at least 15 minutes a day, whatever that looks like. These small wins builds confidence, my friends, and confidence fuels consistency. You have to feel confident because the thing is, it's really all in your head. It is not because you're not skilled enough. It is not because you're not strong enough. It is because in your mind, you've already lost. So you have to have a non-negotiable that says, you will not stop. You will continue, regardless of whether it takes 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Well, the goal is for you to do it in a shorter period of time, but doing it consistently. All right. And I want you to always understand that you are in the driver's seat. You cannot, I'm going to keep saying this. You cannot negotiate your dreams. Don't negotiate it. Right? Because oftentimes as individuals, guess what we do? We are willing to put everyone else's needs on the front platform, and we put our desires and dreams on the back platform. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's okay. I'll get to it, but you matter most. And what I consistently convey on this Empower You 2 podcast is that you are important. You deserve the best that the world has to offer. God is on your side. God wants you to be successful because, of course, when you're successful and you know that God is in the mix, you will always stand on the highest of mountain and say, if it wasn't for God on my side, where would I have been? And guess what? That is putting God on the platform and allowing other individuals to see and hear your testimony and to say, guess what? I want to know about that God that she is talking about, because guess what, honey, is a struggle. But if I know that that God that she is serving, he is serving, is providing respite, peace, love, and accomplishment, then I'm about that life too. I am about that life. All right. So in closing, my friends, it is so important for you not to carry inconsistencies into the life you say you want. You cannot have it in your front pocket and pull it out whenever you feel frustrated or feel guilty. It is important for you to understand that growth in your life, the life that you say you want, requires structure. Success requires discipline, and your future requires a version of you that keeps going even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when you are being a caregiver, even when you doubt yourself. It is important for you, that version of yourself, to keep going and never give up. So today, my friends, my Empower You 2 attendees, okay, I want you to remember this: not to start over, not to stop, but to continue going, because remember, you are running a marathon. It is not a sprint. It's not how fast you get there. It is, are you willing to endure? Because it's during that process of that marathon, as you're running, you're learning about yourself, you're learning about your life, and you're learning to see how God consistently shows up in your life, even when you don't have the strength to keep going, but you keep going. Because of that, I want to call you to action. I want you to do one thing, my friends. Choose one small action and commit to doing it every day for the next 7 days. That's your homework assignment. I want you to choose one small action, whether if it's about your health. I'm going to drink a bottle of water, maybe 1 or 2 bottles of water a day versus just a cup of water a day. Or when it comes to your entrepreneurial journey, deciding what it is that you want in a business and then saying, okay, I'm going to work on a business plan. every day until my business plan is complete. That's what I'm asking you to do. I want you to commit to doing it every day for the next 7 days. No excuses, my friends. You're not perfect. You're just consistent. And remember, you're not stuck. You're just one decision away from momentum. You're just one decision away from success. You're just one decision away from having that life that you desire and the life that God has in store for you. So with that said, you're going to stop that pattern of constantly going and stopping and going. And then you quit. No, that pattern is over today. You heard me? It's over today. My goal is for you to become, as I often say, and as I often close, is I want you to be empowered for greatness, because without greatness, there's no you. Without you, there's absolutely no greatness. And so with that said, let's get to it. Let's get to it. God bless you. Bye.